What's up, guys? Quadron here, bringing you a game of StarCraft 2 that I played last night. I play Protoss, and this is me. This is my account, Ander TFL. Stands for Team Flawless, in case you guys were wondering, which was a clan I used to run. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening in the Terran base. He's just mining minerals. Over here we've got BusterKomo. That's quite the name. Anyway, so I am in this for this account, which I've only played about 6 games since a long time ago. This is like an old account, so it placed me in platinum, but I've won like 7 games in a row or something like that. So I'm pretty much only playing diamond players right at this point, and they're about to switch the leagues over to a new season. So, and I tell this guy, I think PvT is the funnest matchup. And he says, yeah, same. So, and usually that means that you're good at it if you think it's fun, at least in my opinion. And I think PvT is my strongest matchup, personally. So I'm just going in to check it out. And I set my worker on the Pylon Scout. And that's only because I really hate not getting into their base. If they decide to wall it in and you don't be able to get... if they decide to wall this choke point in at the ramp and you can't get in, like, that's really huge. So like, basically you screw yourself over big time. And what I'm doing when I'm scouting here is I'm checking for gas. If he's got gas, I know that he's going to be getting, tech labs, or maybe factory for potentially a Banshee play, or maybe like a 2 or 3 racks all in kind of thing. So with the fact that he doesn't have gas means that he's probably going to be going for an expo or proxy barracks. Those are the 2 things that he's most likely doing. So I'm keeping an eye out for other barracks being developed, and I'm also keeping an eye out for any command center. Now notice I stopped microwing my probe for just a second, and he sends his marine to come kill it. And I get there in time though. And I set my scouting worker to checkpoint 1. And this guy, he did not want me to go scout this expo. And I just keep juking and jiving in here. And he stops microing his marine, and he sends it the wrong way. So it looks like I get out free, home free, and I gotta go check out his expo. And this is really reassuring. Now I know that he's not all inning me, and I'm free to put down my expo at any time here. And I was gonna put down that gas until I saw the expo, and now I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and put my own expansion down. And I've got this misrallied right here. So annoying when you misrally something. Anyway, so but I keep finding the workers and being like, wait, didn't I just grab that worker? So I'm gonna get an expo and my own pylon up, and notice that, like, basically as soon as I saw that he had his own expansion going up, you cut everything to get your expansion up immediately, or you just go all in. You say, all right, that's it. I'm gonna go kick his ass right now, or I'm gonna go crazy macro just like him and try to beat him in the macro game. So you can see I've got a pylon up here. And you always want to get a pylon down by your expansion, so that once you get warp gate, you can warp in units in case he attacks, because you do not want to get caught out, without having a pylon down there when you're getting attacked. So this guy, he knows that I saw his expansion, so he's being very conservative. He doesn't want to be all in or killed, so he's putting up the bunker. Also, stalkers have the ability to micro to do lots of damage if you're good with a stalker anyway, and there's no bunker, it's a big deal. So yeah, I microed it perfectly there. Got to see that he had a bunker up with only damage to the shield on the stalker, which is really good. And I killed his scouting SCV. Unfortunately, I didn't get his SCV before he saw my expo. That would have been good, because then he would have been in the dark about whether or not I would have an expansion, which means I could be all-inning him, which might mean he'd build an extra bunker just in case, stuff like that. So I'm getting my minerals a little bit high right now. I need to get them back down to planet Earth here. And in no way did I ever say this was a that I'm an amazing player at StarCraft 2. I mean, I'm decent, but I'm by no means like pro level quality. But I still know a lot. I've played probably 1,000 games, and I've watched probably 2,000 games, pro level games. Like I'm a pretty crazy StarCraft 2 nerd. It's kind of I can't speak today. It's kind of ridiculous how much I've gotten into StarCraft 2. But I haven't played for a while, so my mechanics are just a little bit rusty. Like, I'm not getting these guys into gas right now. I've also been supply blocked a couple times. And now I'm putting these stalkers over here on the left to prevent any drops, ideally. And you want probably 5 stalkers to be able to shoot down any medevacs ahead of time. Right now I don't really know what's going on in his base so much, which is why I'm sending my observer over right here. But I've got a pretty good guess that he's probably going Marine Marauder. That's, I mean, really super standard. And so, like, if you were to come knock on my door right now, I would have some troubles probably. Unless I landed like the perfect force fields, I would be in some pretty big trouble. But right now I'm teching. I'm getting the Colossus out here, or at least that's my goal. And my goal going into this game was to do a Colossus fake out. Oh, he's gearing up for a big drop here. To be going for a big Colossus fake out where I get 2 Colossus. And my observer just barely misses them. It was like right here, and they were like right here. So I have my stalkers over here. I wonder if he comes up to where my stalkers are. Yeah, he sees the stalkers. He decides to unload over here instead. And let's see how much damage you can do with this drop. Yeah. Move all my workers out, get them out. So he just decides to go straight for a tech building. It's a pretty smart move. And he sees that I've got a Colossus out. He's like, okay, I don't want to do anything with that. And he gets out of there. I almost get to pick off. No, I didn't almost, but I got to damage one of the medevacs. So I've got my army here. It's kind of out of position. And one thing to keep in mind is that if he had decided to do a 2-pronged attack here, I would have been screwed, because he could have just came in here, slaughtered my natural, and then retreated on both fronts. So, like, as a Terran player, I would say that's one of your best strategies that you can possibly do. And so once he destroyed the Robo Bay, I was like, screw it. Okay, I'm just going to go straight into High Templar, and he's not going to expect it. So I'm getting my Twilight Council down now, and he's expanding, and my observer saw this expansion coming down, and also I've got a stalker here so I can see his expo. And I also decided to go double forge for the upgrades. So, and the fact that I'm going High Templar with double forge means that you need to get at least 10 gates out pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just getting some guys up here. And in general, if you're going to be doing this kind of play, where you've got, you know, your main army in your base for drops, you want to have some sentries up here at the front so you can like basically, you know, force field off the front entrance to your base in case of an all-in. I'm just looking at some other things that I'm doing that where I could improve. I'm not using my chrono boost effectively. I'm using the chrono boost. Chrono beast. Sorry guys, I just woke up. I'm using the chrono boost off of this Nexus fairly well, but so I'm chrono boosting that out. I'm like, I know that I really need to get that going. He's got another drop coming in over here. Decides to drop these Marauders, see if he can do any damage to this base, and he realizes that he can't. So he's just going to pick those up and get out. Here he comes with another drop. This was a bad idea. I was able to pick off that drop, no problemo. I got my first High Templar warped in. They have enough for Storm, and Storm is almost done. And you guys have to really keep in mind, you have to be building lots of pylons to keep up with your gateway production, because your gateway production gets out of control when you've got 10 gates. You know, you really have to get your pylon supply ahead of yourself by about 20 at all times, just in case you forget to get one round. You have a little bit of a buffer. So I've got my 4 High Templar. He sees my 3rd, so he wants to move out to take that 3rd out before it can kick in, and I totally can understand. Now notice he's been building Vikings, because I baited him into thinking that I was going Colossus. But look, I've got 4 High Templar ready for Storm, and he also totally mismicroed that battle. And this had resulted in a complete slaughter of his units. And this guy is a diamond player, but yeah, poor guy. I feel bad for him. So there's that. Now I warp in a fresh new round of Zealots, and I decide, hey, let's go try to see what I can do to kill him. And I kind of, in a sense, whiff this. Alright, so one mistake I make is that I don't bring a probe with me. I need to bring a probe with me immediately to build a pylon. Also, these guys should be going straight over to here. Like, no stopping, no resting, just like straight into the enemy base. This guy's not using his mules fully. So that's one mistake he's making. And so I kill the command center there and just move straight over with some more units here. And notice he backs up. He knows that he cannot face this army without ghosts, and I think he's just getting ghosts out. So he's got his first ghost out right here, first couple ghosts out, and I'm banking quite the bank right now, 2,300. And that's because I'm not warping in consistently enough, and also because I need a couple extra gateways off 3 base. I'm still mining off my main, and I told this guy to storm up here, but I had an observer so I could see where his army was. But unfortunately, that was a good storm. That was a really good storm, but it's not going to be enough. But holy crap, one more storm would have been just insanely good. Look at how many guys are in red and yellow in that army. So this guy has got 2 orbitals left, but a very minimum amount of SCVs. Let's check the worker count out. He's got 27 workers. I've got 69. And also, during this time, I believe he harassed my 3rd. I think I may have missed that. I can't remember for sure. But I sent some zealots up here to check out and see if he had another 3rd base up there, or a 4th, I guess, is what it would be. And at this point, one mistake I made is I needed about 5 more gateways if I'm going for a really gateway-heavy army. And I've been warping in, remacroing units here. And so he decides to do a surgical drop, basically, to the top right base. And I've got a couple High Templar up here, ready to storm. But unfortunately, as you'll see in a second, he warps it, and the first thing he takes out is one of the High Templars. I managed to get one of the High Templar storms off, which is really good, but I think I was on a warp-in cooldown right there, so I wasn't able to warp in immediately. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to save the base. And that's okay, though. It's not too big a deal. I'm still mining off of this base, and because I know his army's up there, it means I'm free to just go ahead and destroy his second base, I guess technically is what it is now. It would be where his third would be, but he moved his command center down. Now I noticed that I'm missing some stalkers. I need some anti-air, so getting a few stalkers in the mix, and he's bringing these guys down. Now this army should utterly crush this army, and this guy smartly micros his EMPs, and he EMP'd every single High Templar that I had. Every single one. And also BusterKomo, he did a good job with his upgrades. I'm on 1-1, and he is actually on 3-2. So that he did a surprisingly good job considering I didn't get a single storm off. He EMP'd perfectly, and now I'm kind of on the back foot. I've still got the worker advantage, but he has got the army advantage right now, I believe. Let me see. Okay, yeah, he's got a 10 army advantage right now, actually, which is shocking, just like mind-blowingly shocking. Let's take a look at the income. So the income is pretty similar, but it's about to go up. I just transferred a bunch of workers over, and I'm transferring some more. And so this guy, he's just trying to recover right now. He's struggling. He's got his he put another one down. Oh wait, was that the same? I think that's the same one. That was his home nexus. So he's just putting that back down, and I'm spreading my units out in case of EMPs. And I always put my High Templar to a 1 hotkey, and the hotkey is 1 hotkey, whatever. I don't know. Okay, so warping in a bunch of zealots. And zealots, in my opinion, you can almost never have enough of them unless you're gonna. And you have to. If you're gonna have zealots, you have to know which battles you can fight and which battles you can't. Notice also that he has actually got we're at even army supply. Okay, now I've got a little bit higher, and I'm just like, no, you can't have this third base. And he should have actually, in my opinion, had his army down here to defend that. I mean, his army is pretty similar size. It's not like my army is that much bigger. Now it's 10 supply more. Though I would say my army has more tech. Like he's got really heavy Marines, and I've got excellent, lots and lots of storms available to me. And this was a huge mistake. No stim, and he was just backing his army up, just taking damage the whole time, and this just crushes his army. Unfortunately, that storm didn't work very well. I wanted to storm again, and that didn't work so well, because if you go onto the high ground, it's a way to kind of counter storm, because if you don't have vision of the high ground, you can't actually storm up there. I'm just kind of blanketing them with storms right now, and I'm morphing the the Templar without much energy into Archons to finish them off. I mean, this is pretty much GG at this point. Like he's got 8 Marines up here, no big deal, but I've got actually mining going on, and really like this is the fact that he was able to kill this base with a drop is huge. It was just, and that's just because I didn't have any High Templar up there to defend, and I also didn't have I wasn't paying attention. Like when you get into microing these battles with storm, it's so hard to keep all the different aspects in mind that you need to keep in mind. But little probes getting some kills, and so I mean this is pretty much, he's dead at this point. There's nothing he can do. He doesn't have enough to expand again. He has no command center. And I believe he calls GG here. Yeah. He doesn't even call GG. He just rage quits. So anyway, that was a game I played against a diamond player last night. And I'll try to bring you guys better and better games as I improve and as I play better people. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be posting some more first-person shooter videos and also more strategy game videos. Also, this weekend, hopefully, I'm going to be filming a live action video of basically making fun of the game Days. And so it's going to be like kind of a Days in real life. What would it be like if you were really in a zombie apocalypse and crazy shenanigans was going on all around you, and you had someone playing you. Anyway, you'll see it. Hopefully we'll get that done this weekend, but we'll at least be filming it this weekend. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.